So, hi everyone, my name is Tyler. I'm the host of the Dream Panel. I wanted to extend a warm welcome to you all for listening to our Dream Panel at Solv's community. And today, our topic is Catch New GameFi Opportunities. And this community program was created after careful planning on the premise that collaborations among leading builders of Web3 is crucial not just for protocols, but for communities as well. We feel that through weekly panel talks, by bringing some of the coolest projects into the Solv community, would contribute a good deal to that end. Like today, we are honored to invite two speakers from Yiha Games and Meta Warriors. And in the meantime, we welcome all projects from all sectors of blockchain to reach out to my team and put new panels in queue. If you're part of Solv community, join up with us for some of the craziest rewards we and our guest projects have to offer. But make sure to keep it up with our weekly community calls, as well as your rewards come both ways. So, current GameFi products put together GameFi and financial elements into its package to be marketed and sold to investors in exchange for an opportunity to make some profits. Most GameFi projects have cool looking graphics and NFTs, which we call our star. It's pretty interesting and innovative. But there are still some problems. Some of those projects lack of originality or gameplay and even a sustainable economy. But yet, I still believe this track is undoubtedly active with a great potential. And fortunately, we have two speakers working on this track with the help of their powerful teams. And I believe you guys would help me and the audience to solve our questions in mind. Yeah. And I'm going to leave you guys time to give brief introductions. And there has been a controversy in the industry regarding blockchain modified traditional games and GameFi. At the same time, Yiha Games, as a platform focusing on blockchain reformation games, will public very soon, as I know. So Volkan, head of marketing at Yiha Games, could you give us a brief introduction of yourself and the Yiha Games? Also, I found that you are from Midgard Saga and bring us Yiha Games for introduction. What is the difference between these two projects? Yeah, just two questions. Yeah.
So here's the thing. First of all, thank you everyone for your time. I'm Volkan, head of marketing at Yiha Games, probably the coolest GameFi 2.0 platform that is coming soon. So, who is Yiha Games? So basically what we do is we revolutionize the GameFi market not only through technology, but what we do basically is our goal here is to deliver the GameFi scene with proper products. So, y'all have made your experience with GameFi products. All you get is games that are focusing on make money with the product, with play to earn before it collapses. And this is nothing what we try to do here. What we try to do here is actually bringing games to the GameFi industry that are fun to play. So high quality games. As I said, we partnered with a lot of different studios for that. And we are ready to bring high quality games that have the potential to set their feet in the traditional gaming market actually as normal games. But what we do is basically we implement step-by-step blockchain elements into this. And with doing that, what we do is basically not only provide you guys with a stable structure, a good game, still play to earn, but what we do is we slowly bring the traditional gaming community, which consists of over 3 billion users. If you keep that in mind, that's insane. We slowly bring them into the whole world of Web3, GameFi here and there. You probably ask yourself, okay, but why? Why would you do that? That's quite easy to answer because you all know how the bear market is currently affecting a lot of GameFi projects. The currency is dropping and everyone is selling their assets. And traditional gamers are less to do so. They come to play a cool game, basically. and they stay because they're not used to selling their assets. What they're usually used to is just like, okay, I bought an item and I have it until I stop the game, but they can sell it. So that we also offer these kind of crypto and gamify elements to traditional gamers, basically. So all in all, we built a bridge between traditional gaming and gamify.
Thank you very much for Cam for letting us know more about the IHA games, and I should doing really wonderful works, and I can't agree with you more. I think most games now, I think GameFi projects just put so much emphasis on the financial elements, and I think what we should focus on is what you call the content of the games, and also include other elements like social and other social fi, something like that. And I think, that's exactly what we could focus on in the future. I think, and I think maybe it's your turn, Musa, the CEO of Meta Warriors. Welcome. Could you briefly introduce yourself and also the project Meta Warriors?
Sure. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining in today. And here, this is Musa. I'm founder and CEO of Meta Warriors. It's a play to earn first ever zombie killing metaverse game. Uh, got inspired with the traditional games like Resident Evil, or you can say those kind of zombie shooting game with the metaverse aspect to it. So that is there. Also, our previous background is more towards the technology and the blockchain solutions. This Softic Technology is another company, parent company, which is backing this project up and getting it off the ground. And we are growing quite exponentially. Our Discord and our community uh, is doing good. And also we have our prototype on VR and on Android and also on WebGL. You can have a look at it through our website. Which is pretty cool because we haven't launched any NFT and tokens as of now because we want to deliver first and then we take it to the next step. So that is there. And also we are having our different events coming up live next couple of months in Q3 and Q4, which include like NFT launch and token launch, and also especially our alpha release, which will also be on VR. Because with VR, if you go to VR, the thing is like the best selling game in VR are mostly like zombies, or you can say Resident Evil, or you can have a look at that and Oculus Quest. So because the immersiveness and the whole you can say horror theme environment is a lot more amazing, and the experience is great, which is why we are pretty bullish on VR. So that's how we are directing our project towards the next phases. That's a bit of brief overview of what we're doing.
Wonderful. Thanks for the introduction, Musa. You really aroused my interest, and I must join your community to find more. And I'm personally very interested in the shooting games, and I played PUBG. And in the traditional games, I played PUBG and CS:GO before, and so I put a lot of time in it, and I think I'm good at it. And so I've checked out your website, and I think it's pretty interesting. And I don't think I'll get bored, spending time in your games because the playing content is very rich. So I'm looking forward to that. I think now we could go to the discussion now. And believe me, we have a bunch of questions waiting for you guys to answer, and it's gonna be very interesting.
Good.
At first, here's a question for both of you, and here's it. What is the reason that you and your team want to start this project, and what is the pain point that you're trying to solve? Maybe Volkan, could you be the first one to answer it?
Yeah, I would love to.
Thanks.
As I said, as a GameFi user myself, I was always experiencing the weaknesses of certain GameFi projects quite early. So for me, joining Yeehaw Games and seeing their vision of actually trying to solve by revolutionizing instead of just launching more and more products into the market without any like proper vision is what motivates me here to get further. Because if you think about it, our team is built quite heavily. So our team is not like, okay, this guy does marketing, this guy does that. What we do is we have industry veterans of both, of the crypto and blockchain gaming section, and of the traditional gaming section, with people with over 10 years of experience each. And the background these people have, I mean, they're from Tencent, NetEase, FunPlus, Season, IGG, Unity, and from the crypto side, Animoca and Bybit. So from talent, like talent-wise, we are backed quite heavily. And we were quite sure that we have the quality that is required to actually revolutionize. Because saying that you're going to revolutionize is easy, but doing it requires a lot. It requires the right talent. It requires the right products. And what I can tell you definitely is that we have exactly what is needed to bring the right product to this industry, because right now the industry is collapsing in a lot of terms. For sure, you have every few weeks a product that looks hopeful for 2 weeks and then it collapses as well. But as I said before, the products that we have, the games that we want to launch, the structure that we want to build is something that is not getting offered anywhere right now. And this is what we want to work on basically. So what we do is we launch our first game, Midgard Saga, soon. And with launching Midgard Saga, we want to get in the traditional players first. It's a strategy game. You build your teams, you fight against waves of enemies and here and there. And then slowly implementing, like, for example, our first NFTs so they can experience, like traditional gamers can experience. So the first product is less about, okay, guys, crypto gaming now. Everyone that is in GameFi, join us, and that's it. We want to get in the traditional gaming users first, and let all the GameFi users come slowly with us and lead the traditional gaming users through communities and hear more into the world of Web3, basically. And after a while, in Q3, what we will launch is our own internal exchange to make it easier. You don't have to look for third parties all the time. And besides that, what we'll also do is launch our NFTs and our platform, basically our app, because our games will be available on mobile and you can access them through our app in Q3. We're going to launch our app, and at some point, we're also going to launch our token, which will be Yi. And it is important that to this point, what we do is slowly build the bridge. It's not like, okay, we built the bridge and now we welcome everyone. It's like a slow process of traditional gamers and GameFi users that are slowly getting closer to each other. And once that happens, it has a lot of benefits. So basically, one of the benefits is if we bring a lot of traditional gamers, which will happen because it's a huge sector, if we will bring them in, they are less likely to leave when everything collapses. And that basically builds a huge structure, not only for us at Yeehaw Games, but also for the GameFi sector in general. We have so many new users that we bring to the sector. So we do not only serve our own structure, but also the structure of GameFi in general here.
Thanks. I think what you said really makes sense. Even for traditional game, the developers need to spend a few years to develop the game, and they need so much time, to wait to build their infrastructure till they get started. And I'm glad that you decided to use this strategy, and so as Solv, and we decided to bridge how to say that, to build a solid infrastructure before generate the tokens. And I think that's what the people who really want to do something should do.
Exactly.
And Musa, and how do you think of it? What is the reason that you and your team want to start your project, the Meta Warriors, and also what the pinpoint that you're trying to solve?
Yeah, actually, a well point said by Volkan about the traditional gaming So over here, we can see like there are a lot of projects, and they are catering more to the crypto investors, but not to the traditional industry. So which is where I have been working with the blockchain project since 2015 and developing them and building different infrastructure. So I know like decentralization and the usability are directly inversely proportional to each other. So there should be a good balance between them. And also with the accessibility, like the traditional gamers don't know much about blockchain. It's a buzzword, right? They get scared of with those kind of difficult terminologies. So making it very easy for the traditional gamers to get into the industry, and once they start getting comfortable, then they get more involved with how they can earn and what aspects they can explore, right? So that's the main thing. Like they needs to even buy NFTs, even starting playing the game, which is something very unfriendly for someone who want to test with the blockchain games exactly. So we have like free to earn game, and then the economy which sustains. We have done a lot of like user persona and to sustain the economy, like what will work, what not, and making sure user has a lot of fun in there instead of trying to like get quick buck. That is something which could be a secondary thing, but the main thing should be like it should be a good standard game with high you can say graphics or maybe high accessibility to their phones or their app store instead of like their PC. So that is one thing like has accessibility, which is they're more focused on, and also like the user onboarding should be very seamless, which is why we are also building we are heavily from the uh, blockchain infrastructure, building different blockchains and apps and stuff. So as I told, like Softic Technologies. So we have a team of almost like 50 plus resources, and yeah, so we are also building layer one solution, which is going to be gasless. So it will be providing, which will be on Cosmos ecosystem, Cosmos SDK, and will be providing, you can say, validators for mining their or validating those transactions through inflation. So that's another thing which is called Gamos Protocol that we are doing to make sure that the user accessibility and the onboarding and their experience on the blockchain game should not be very difficult. They need to learn too much to get into GameFi to actually start earning, and also need to spend tons of money. And also the zombie feel to there is a good fan base of these horror themed zombie games. So which is where there is not much in the GameFi regarding that. So that's also where we want to tap into.
Yeah, I think you joined the industry very earlier, and what you think of crypto, what you think of the traditional players and their attitude to the blockchain economies is very right, and it's hard for them to to enter a GameFi project at the beginning, especially with the start. They have to invest first and start with our starter, and it's not cheap, right? Yeah, and the entrance level is really high for them. I mean, in this stage. And what do you think about it? I think you really catch the point. And the gas free, you build it on Cosmos. I think, yeah. And the gas free solution is very good for the beginners, for the new beginners. Yeah. I really hope you guys could do could build a very good network. Yeah.
Actually, we have built like 3 to 4 different blockchains on Cosmos ecosystem. We have a very experienced team. We have been doing this since long. So we are very you can say optimistic about that. That's something which we can pull off and are pretty easily. So which is where we can provide value, and then as an ecosystem we can bring on more projects as an infrastructure to help on the or Gamos protocol. So first it will be on Meta Warriors, like this layer one solution, and then we can offer it to different games and different products as a infrastructure solution.
Yeah. That's a pretty good idea. Yeah, I think so. I think we could enter the next section. And before this discussion, I did a research and prepared some questions in accordance with what exactly your teams are doing at this stage for each speaker. And regarding the blockchain modification of games, there have been multiple attempts on this topic already. From the early adoption of game assets on chain to the introduction of NFTs and tokenomics, the model of blockchain modification continues to change. However, in the current market, it is rare to see success stories. I would like to ask Yeha Games, why did you choose game blockchain modification as your platform's core ideology? And in your opinion, what are the difficulties of game chain change? How are you trying to solve them?
Quite an easy question to answer. The issue is, since GameFi is still in development, I mean, there's a lot of products. For such a young sector, there's a lot of products because a lot of people saw, okay, there's money to make here. So they launch products quite fast. They just wanted to make sure, okay, my product is out and I will earn money. But we just wanted the sector to be more stabilized. We wanted the sector to be more fun, more engaging, more stabilized, basically. And it is nothing that you can solve by just implementing a new product that might have like a better gameplay. For sure, our games are insane because our games are not like most of the GameFi products, which is basically just like, okay, walk 2 meters or click 2 times on your phone and get 20 cents for that. What we do is actually like make sure people play their games properly. Our games are made to play. Our games are not made to earn the quick buck and sell your assets, and that's it. That's not the goal that we have here. And that's why we wanted to make sure to not only have a good product, but also offer the right economy model here. When I say economy model, I also mean the structure that we build around it. And it is what is missing basically right now. Like we just looked, okay, what is the sector currently demanding? And what the sector is currently demanding is a good product with a stable structure and a stable ecosystem. So we decided, okay, you know what? We will push something out there. It will be interesting for sure in terms of being fun, entertained, but also make sure people are earning money with it. But we wanted to make sure that it's not the only aspect, you know, for sure. Earning is an important aspect. Play to earn works like that, but play to earn doesn't mean like it can't be fun. A lot of people misunderstand play to earn because playing means fun in my opportunity. I never played something and it was not fun, you know? And that's why we decided, okay, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get into the sector and let's revolutionize it that way. Instead of just going for it and say, okay, here you go. You have one game, play with it, earn some money. It will collapse at some point. So no rug pulls or anything like that. That was the main thing that we aimed at here. And the good thing is it's not like we launch our first game, Midgard Saga, and look how the results are. We have 11 games with over 10 studios in the pipe already that are waiting to be released. And we made sure it's not only like one genre of game. So it's not like only a card game or a strategy game. We legit made sure we have like all kind of games. We have open world games, we have card games, we have strategy games, fantasy, high school type of games. Like we made sure there's a lot of diversity in terms of games and that we offer the sector a lot of new stuff basically because the sector is suffering of new stuff. All the games look the same, are playable the same, and it gets boring. So we decided, okay, we do it that way.
You like you said, stability makes everything last longer, you know, and live longer really matters in this field. Yeah, and so earning matters, you know, for the investors. You can't ignore their demand to earn. Yeah, and but for sure that playing, you know, also matters for these game players, traditional game players, and you have to do this to attract more users from traditional games. And also, you mentioned that you put something else to make the ecosystem, the ecosystem tokenomics more perfect. And I definitely believe that you can do it. And you also mentioned that you have a like a very big platform, and you incubate many other GameFi projects and so many. Yeah, I think that's really fantastic. Yeah, and I think and I think what you said is very clear, and I think I really got something from Volkan's answer, and it's pretty interesting and insightful, and I appreciate it very much. And here's the next question for Musa. I saw you that your NFT collection will be launched soon, and could you tell us more about it? I'm not very clear about it.
Yeah, actually, so our NFT collection is more of you can say still not they don't need to have NFT upfront to actually start playing the game, which alpha coming in next month, as well as our NFT collection. So those are going to be like Genesis NFT characters. So those will be having high, you can say value, or you can say they will be having better chance in winning the multiplayer matches and quests. So those will be like the Genesis NFT characters. There are different suits for both characters. There's male and female. One is Jack and the other is Jennifer. So there are a couple of suits for each one of them. So yeah, we'll be dropping them by August, and then we will be putting our alpha live. So our community can go in there. Either they can test or play it with the guest characters, or they can play it with those NFTs and start having fun in the game, and start experiencing what's coming up next and get a glimpse of that.
Yeah, I can't wait to have a try on the coming, NFT collection, and have a try, alpha version. And now I know the details, and thanks for your introduction. And I think the communities know as well, know it as well. And I think you guys could just join their Discord or communities to learn more and try to get in this game as soon as possible. Yeah. And let's move on to the next section. We'll read some questions from the speakers and for the speakers, and you could choose the preferable one to answer. It's optional, but we are looking forward to them. So the first question, it almost feels like I've known the word GameFi for a decade. That's because I hear of this word so often. Now I've experienced some of them. Many GameFi projects, games, and I invested on them. And yet, in a space where innovation is constantly taking place, and recent GameFi developments have been slow and less innovative, especially in the bearish market. And this is made, worse by the flooding of older mobile games onto the blockchain, where developers seek quick cash grabs from investors and players. We all know how this is going to end, and with the majority of the players losing their original investment, I guess it urgently needs to be upgraded. Yeah, we already have DeFi 2 transitioning to DeFi version 3 and sticking to. So I'm just wondering, how should we understand the GameFi version 2 and when it will come to us? I guess Volkan, maybe you could just give an answer to this question.
Yeah, would love to. It is quite easy. The current GameFi market, which is GameFi 1.0 in our terms, it has its flaws. As I mentioned before, we need to understand GameFi 1.0 before we build GameFi 2.0, I mean, you saw the popularity of games like Axie Infinity, Step End here and there. It has deeply rooted this play to earn thing in people, where they're like, okay, I'll get my money back and I'll make more money and more money before the product collapses. And there's a lot of things GameFi 1.0 games have in common, which is like basically poor gameplay and low quality game content, which makes sense. I mean, you see the market, I see the market. Also, like their in-game economies and environments are too simple. It is made too simple. And this makes like the actions and results highly predictable. Like the game's developers use scripts or a large number of bots or real users to manipulate the game resources, basically. And also, like poor user experience and extremely high financial barriers of entry for players. That's why a lot of GameFi projects lack of real players. That's why, as Musa said, we also made the decision here, and that just shows me Musa is really far as well. It is important to give people access to the product without making a big investment. You have to make GameFi more accessible for people to make their first experience without like already feeling bad. I mean, we all know that you buy something, for sure it feels good that you have it, but it also feels bad that you invested a lot of money in it. It feels like there's always like this thought in your head that tells you, okay, shit, I paid money for this. And was it worth it? That's why we want to make sure people join, people make the experience first, and then people can buy their NFTs, can buy their additional in-game items. We want them to fully experience the product and be able to make decisions for themselves, you know? And to address these kind of problems in the next generation of GameFi, we defined by Yeehaw Games, we committed to like solving these, to bringing like these 3 billion users of traditional games. Like for sure, we're not saying, okay, we bring all 3 billion of them. But like, it is such a huge resource that can be used, but is not getting used right now because most of the products sadly are not interested in the growth of GameFi, but in making money. For sure, everyone wants to make money, but we see it as our task here to also serve the sector itself. So what we will do is we will deliver more and fun, engaging games with high quality gameplay. And we will also transform the game economy model by introducing asset liquidity and appropriate earning mechanisms. So we're not going for like, okay, you invested $100, here you go, you have $1 million, just do whatever you want to. We're not going that way. And we will also focus on transactions, promote player growth through asset flow and social interaction between the users. Also, like we are working on a borderless connection between like Web 2 and Web 3 because we want to remove this barrier of entry for traditional players by making it more accessible. So what do we offer for traditional players? Like more incentive mechanisms to earn while playing. Because a traditional gamer, he doesn't know like that you can earn money by playing it. For him, it's going to be such a change. And also like game asset ownership, which brings like a way stronger sense of community participation and like game immersion for them. For them, usually they buy an item, then they play the game, and the item is in the game and they can't do stuff with it. Now they can. They can sell it. They can liquidate it. They can do whatever they want to. And that's like the introduction of circulating and trading assets. That's going to increase like the complexity and fun of all the games that they're playing, basically. They're having like this new element in the games that they're missing in traditional games, basically. But since we're talking so much about traditional gamers, we definitely have also our crypto gamers in mind. We're not going to forget about them. The entry, as I said, is going to be important to bring them closer, but it is also important for us that we offer something to traditional users with like this large player base and having long-term earning potential because the game is not dying in 2 weeks and it's having a huge player base, which makes it more stable. We are able to survive bear markets easier by having a more stable connection with like the traditional gamers here. So it is important for us that we offer both sides something, that we build this new bubble of traditional gamers and GameFi users and build GameFi 2.0 like that.
Yeah, I think the most beautiful thing in GameFi is that I actually own my assets and I can trade it efficiently.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's what the traditional users, they don't know that. Yeah, and you have to spread the idea that you can actually own your assets and you can trade them and you can actually earn something while you're playing and enjoying this game. That is very important, I think. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. And Musa, do you have any words on how to understand the GameFi? GameFi 2. Yeah.
Actually, GameFi 1.0, you can, as Walt can say as well, you can look at XZ and how things were. It was more of for the like crypto investors getting in there, trying to earn some quick bucks, right? But to make it more sustainable, the gameplay and those aspects should be up to it's now GameFi 2.0 have to be head to head with the traditional market, right? The standard of games need to increase because now the people who also want to not with very basic graphics and trying to uh, deploy some assets and earn some tokens for the sake of tokens. So just that. Instead, we have to look at it. We have a very strong game development team as well, having a pretty vast experience of launching like traditional games, how the traditional economy work, how the revenue streams work with the traditional on Play Store, on ads and the other stuff. So it needs to be a sustainable business other than economy. People are very focused about the economy, but I suppose economy only sustains if the users are there, right? We can build the best mathematical user persona stats, but at the end of the day, if there are no users who are liking the game and love to play day in and day out, still there will be another game we having giving high reward. So yeah, it's more about the attachment with the game and how the traditional gaming industry works. It needs to be more towards that aspect instead of just a quick Ponzi scheme or something like that. So right now, before previously it was something like that, but now if we want to have a very quality user base who knows, who has feeling with their assets, like not only just to flip them, that's something which we need to value, and that's the way it's going to be to make a good economy and make it work for having a sustainable user base as well. That's what we think. Instead of uh, uh, just giving tokens for the sake of nothing, like just that kind of stuff.
Yeah. We are still, blockchain projects, and the economy to make it sustainable is truly very important in this field. Yeah, I totally agree with it. Yeah. Please allow me to interrupt for a minute. It's a raffle time. So, Solvians, you could go to the rewards channel for the lucky draw sponsored by today's guest, Musa and Volkan. And also, don't forget to leave your addresses in the check-in channel. And Grace, are you here?
Yeah, I just sent the luck draw to our reward channel, and I think all the participants can join the reward channel right now or after the stage finish to claim your reward.
Yeah, fantastic. And by the way, we will choose all the winners in from the Solv voucher holders later by the Excel function and release the result tomorrow. Yeah. So that's it. That's all about the raffle. And here I think we could come to the next one, the second question. We know that player base in traditional game fields is super huge, and even if we can attract only 10% from them, that would make this base totally different one, right? So before we know, we have to, but we know we have to make it more attractive first. Yeah. So how do you plan to attract traditional users from Web 2.0? Yeah.
It's quite easy because one second, was a question from Musa for me.
So I think Volkan, you can start first because
All right. Yeah, I mean, when you attack a market like traditional gaming, which is worth God knows how many billions of dollars and has so many users, it is important that you offer them first of all the perks of GameFi. You got to make sure they understand, okay, what makes it better than traditional gaming. That's where we have, as Moots already said, and as I already said, you have like ownership of your game assets. You have a different type of community. You have a lot of advantages compared to traditional gaming, but also this is where the product itself will make a big difference. The big difference is here. If we would take traditional gaming users now and then introduce them to the current GameFi market, this is not building a bridge, this is burning a bridge, basically, because the current GameFi market is not offering what traditional gamers need product-wise. That's why you also got to make sure the product is on a level where it's not like close to traditional gaming or traditional gaming like. It has to be on a level where it's already competing in the traditional gaming market, and then you implement the blockchain gaming elements, basically. And that's the only way to attract the traditional gaming market currently.
Yeah, sure. I agree with you. Yeah. I think what makes the traditional games, sustainable for such a long time, and sometimes you could even see even a small game and established from the public decades ago, and they are still trying to. The developed team are still trying to upgrade for them, still updating the different kinds of ways to play it for us, for the players. And I think that's what we could learn from them. We could try to make the content as rich as we can, and try to keep updating for the users, and that could be one of the way to attract the users from traditional players, I think. Yeah. And also, Musa, I think you must got something to say. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, exactly. So, actually, that's where because I suppose, and I'm very optimistic. Like the people from traditional gaming want to join into the play to earn and the blockchain aspect, but it's not that much. It's not to that standard, right? It needs to evolve. The entry barrier needs to be very friendly for them. Even for a crypto investor, it's very difficult to get download this extension and that extension and buy this NFT and that. For a traditional gamer, you see like it's very inconvenient for them to actually come into the ecosystem at first place. So it needs to be to much higher quality, as well as the entry barrier needs to be very friendly. They can come into the ecosystem, they can start playing, they interact with the game, and once as you know, like people get interacted with the game or addicted with the game after they have it in their mobile in like for good 3+ days. They playing that day in and day out. So that's how it needs to be, instead of like trying to get funds out of them very first day. That's how it's more a lot to learn from the traditional market, instead of like trying to create barriers and get whatever can be upfront. So it needs to be it's first that the GameFi need to deliver, and then the traditional users will be starting to trust the ecosystem and trust the GameFi aspect, and will start coming into it. So that's how it will be mostly for the traditional gamer, I suppose.
Yeah, make it easier for you for the traditional users to enter this industry is very important, and also, as you said, improve the quality of the games is also very important. I could spend a few hours per day on a game and for months, and I won't even get bored on this game. When I encounter with a very good game. So that's what I think is very important to all the developers, that they have to know this point if they want to make this GameFi project to be, sustainable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think we could go to the next one. Yeah, the third question. Yeah, you have been trying to build up something, and you have worked for such a long time. And I just want to know what are we expected to see as your next big moves, in the future.
Next big moves is basically just following our timeline. We have a lot planned. As I said, like we're launching our first game now, which is Midgard Saga. But it's not going to be like, okay, we launched Midgard Saga and we're going to see now how it is performing, and then we make decisions. We have 11 games lined up. In Q3, we're also going to launch our app. And through the app, you have the entire ecosystem available in your pocket, basically. Other than that, as I said, a lot of community events. We want to make sure our community is always up to date to what we're doing. That's why Telegram and Discord and Twitter is important for us for communication, for example. So we want to make sure we collect the feedback from the community. We process that feedback. We do community events where we talk to them, we educate them, but also in general, just like rewarding events and here and there. We want to make sure there's always something going on besides the usual gaming, not using that to be like, okay, we didn't reward event for you. Now you have to stay. More like, okay, you're part of the community and we want to make sure you feel welcome in the best way possible here. Other than that, as I said, 11 games lined up. Each game is really special in its own way. And that's the way we want to go here, basically. Constant development, but also constant releases.
Yeah, I know you must, prepare a big surprise for us. Yeah, you have 11 games after all. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you guys just follow your roadmap successfully, and it means that you must achieve your goals, and everything moves very smoothly in the to the goal that you want to achieve. Yeah. So that's perfect, I think. Yeah. You guys doing great work. And Musa, do you have something to say about this topic?
Yeah, actually, according to our roadmap, so the next big things are going to be our alpha launch. It's going to be a good feedback from the. We would like to have feedback from our community, and then we'll improvise on that. And we have a lot of great features like multiplayer quest and story mode, which is pretty intense and very interactive. And also rewards in there. Also with the metaverse part, we'll have different mini games in there like water pool games or card games and different arcade games and hyper casual games in our metaverse. But the main spotlight is the zombie shooting game, and then having different small 2D hyper casual games in our metaverse, and where people can socialize and also play those pretty cool hyper casual games. So that's also which will be coming later. But first things first is going to be like alpha version of our main AAA game, which is going to be like zombie shooting play to end game. So yeah, also with the quest mode in it. So we'd like to see how that goes and what people think about it, and then converting the feedback into feed forward. That's also the next thing which we will be focusing on.
Yeah, you also prepared a very big, surprise for us, and you guys are, a very big platform as well. I just realized that, and I really hope you guys, and I believe that you guys would make this very successful launch. Yeah. And let's move to the next one. Do you still adopt the play to earn mode? As I know, most GameFi projects are using this mode. And are you gonna try to bring us any more innovations, or what other pattern you are trying to follow?
Yeah, definitely. So the thing is, at the moment, for sure, play to earn is vital since it's one of the key elements of GameFi here. For sure, ownership of assets in here and there is cool. But play to earn is also an important thing because it was something really revolutionizing, and we want to keep it, but we want to keep it in a way where it's not the main aspect. People will earn money. I'm not saying, okay, you're gonna get 20 cents here, but we're gonna play and earn in a really healthy way, in a healthy way where it just stabilizes the ecosystem that we have, but also makes people play long term. For example, we don't go for just like, okay, I bought this NFT, so it's gonna pay me more. The total amount that is gonna get paid out is not only the NFT, but also your skill in game, basically. So it will be a combination of your in-game skill and the NFTs and the way you're playing, basically.
Yeah. I think the in-game skill is very important. If I play this for a long time and I could easily beat down others, I think the standard for how to calculate how much tokens I could earn from this game is very important for me. Not only depends on the avatar I bought, the NFT I bought at the beginning, how much I spent on it, and I think the most important thing is how the degree how I love this game. I think that's it. And Musa, do you have something to say about your pattern?
Actually, we also are taking notice into this aspect of the play to earn aspect is going to be there, but once you are talking about like the traditional gamers and you're going to onboard them, so it's more with the traditional gamer. They have a good relation with their uh, progress, with their avatars, with their accessories. So it's not everything like a flipping for them. So we are also going to be introducing tokens, NFTs, which will not be tradable, which will only stay with the profile of the user, like achievements. Let's say they did 24 or maybe 5 hour streak, or they have been active in all previous events in the game and all the quests. So they get multiple achievements. So those are not going to be tradable because they should have the sense of achievement and the progress in the game, as well as like having different NFTs and flipping them for assets. That's one good thing. But the other thing is like having those achievements and for themselves is also it's another thing that we're realizing that's one problem with the gamify that needs to be solved as well. So that's how we are going about that as well. So we are improvising on that and having such achievements for our players, which will not be tradable as well, but they will be as NFTs. They can show to different users while socializing in the metaverse and whatnot. But if everything is buyable, then there is no value of doing it, right?
Yeah.
If anyone can buy any asset from the other person, then there's no value of if someone have actually achieved it instead of bought it. So that has another intrinsic value to it, right? So that there should be some aspect like this as well. So we are working on that part to make sure once they socialize, they can actually show off that they actually have achieved it instead of having putting in some buck into the game and then buying those assets. Maybe it's NFT or whatsoever.
Yeah, that also demonstrates that earning is not everything. Yeah, and you can buy everything. That's very innovative, I think. And here's the last one. I think. Last one. I just it's not actually a question. I just want to say that Solv Protocol, my project, not my project, my team. We actually created our own token standard called 3525 ERC 3525, and it actually makes an NFT splittable, and is totally compatible with the normal NFTs. And we are using this on the financial market, fields. We use it as a financial instrument because we think it fits it very well now. But in the future, we could give the GameFi projects opportunity to do how to say that how to say that, sorry. We just give you a chance to split your NFTs avatars, and you could sell it to the users partial of it, and they could just pay the big a small amount of money first and borrow the left of them, and that could be an idea that we maybe collaborate in the future on the marketplace, I think. And also we also provide services for different projects to raise funds, and even in the bearish market, for example, we have successfully raised more than raised 60 million US dollars, 16 million US dollars for Izumi Finance in May. And I think that's a very successful thing that we have made. That's it. So I think maybe in the future we could do some collaborations like this. And I have to say it's truly a rich discussion today. So much surprises and so much to learn for me, and again, we appreciate your attendance today so much. And we have to say many thanks to the speakers who just gave us a fantastic speech together. We just, since the time is limited, so we don't open the channel for the audience. It's almost an hour now. And I think it's time to have a rest, guys. Do you have anything to say to the audience? The two speakers.
Guys,
Musa, if you want to go first.
Great chat. Thanks, Volkan. Yeah, so it has been a great chat with you guys, and this Solv Protocol. I really love the way how NFTs are integrating with other use cases and how Solv Finance is doing it, and fractionalizing those NFTs and then raising funds to that. It's pretty amazing stuff. So we are in this space since long, and it's really excited to see how it's evolving and how what value we can provide in the process to the space. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. As I said before, yeah, it is important, as you said, like if you want to say something to the audience. For me, as a part of Yeehaw Games, for example, but I'm pretty sure for Musa as well, it's always good to have places like here, for example, Solv Protocol, where we can share the vision that we want to implement into the current sector. So it's always like appreciated as well. We're not like, it's not like a burden for us to be here. It's more like a blessing. We're able to speak about what we have in plan. So we want to thank, first of all, everyone here. I want to thank Musa. I want to thank the whole Solv team here. I want to thank the audience. As you guys said, with the entire NFT splitting, it is definitely something that has a lot of potential for the future, especially if you look at some of the projects and their prices of NFTs. Most of the time, they're not really purchasable for a normal person because they're in such a price range. So it enables also a lot for new users to be able to afford certain NFTs that they couldn't afford before. Other than that, same as Musa said, I'm also more into building and use cases in terms of real use than just like the financial aspect here. It is important that we keep building, that we keep thinking, that we keep brainstorming about ideas that can develop the current sector, because the current sector needs development and we are on it. I'm pretty sure Musa and his people are also on it. And it's our goal and our mission here to make sure we offer this market, the entire GameFi market, with a product that it really deserves. Because right now, the GameFi market is suffering. And if we keep going this way, it is going in the completely wrong direction. We have to change something, and the change is here now. And this is where we're getting started. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I can agree with you guys more, and thanks for your recognition. Yeah. So guys, thanks for your time, and good day and good night, everyone. I think it's the time. That's it. That's all for today. Bye, guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.